Madam President, the Assembly has gathered. The ceremony may begin.
Please be seated. On behalf of all of us gathered here today, the faculty, administration, trustees, staff, please join us in being part of what I might call the very, very best for last. You are our last graduating class of this decade. So first, congratulations to all of you. We are very glad that you and your families and friends could join us today on this very, very special occasion. It's my honor and privilege to extend my sincerest congratulations to every graduate of the Acupuncture Institute and School of Chiropractic. I also recognize friends and family who may not be able to be with us physically here today, but thanks to the World Wide Web, they are joining us via our simultaneous webcast. This has been quite a decade. In the time that you have been students here at this great university, you have seen incredible inventions being now rolled out for popular use, innovations in technology, in science, engineering, and particularly in healthcare. You are about to join the ranks of a very proud alumni group of the University of Bridgeport that comes not just as graduates, but you are also caretakers, you are healers, you will be providing comfort to many, many people, and you will have an enormous ripple effect through people's lives. We all know that the world and time in which we live is not slowing down. In fact, some days it seems to just be speeding up, and we all go faster and faster and faster. However, what is so important about what you do is that you have the ability to comfort people when they are afraid, to heal people perhaps when they have given up hope, and also to constantly educate people about their health and well-being. And that means something very special and very particular, because even though we may be embracing technology more so than we ever have before, to forget that we need to embrace each other would be truly an enormous loss. And through your practice and what you have learned here, you have the amazing talents to do great, great work. And I have the utmost confidence that you will continue to do that in the years ahead. We all begin as learners. We all start with an incredible ability to learn. And the gift that I hope all of you have is the interest in continuing your learning even after you graduate from the University of Bridgeport. Your dialogue here began with a conversation between you and your faculty member, and I know that those conversations have been rich and they have been meaningful. They have taught you as much as you have taught us. We care about you both as a student as well as a person, and we will be very interested in watching both your personal growth as well as your professional life as it begins to unfold in the years ahead. Wherever life may take you, whatever may come your way, always keep us in your hearts, because you will always be in ours. We care very deeply about all of you. Your time at UB has prepared you to face the ever-evolving challenges that are being addressed by our healthcare system and the needs of our population, and those needs will only continue to grow. You've learned a great deal about the relationships of the structure and function of the human body, the fundamental science on which a diagnosis is based, and the humanistic qualities of doctor-patient interactions. Each of you has worked incredibly hard to reach this milestone. You have now not only the tools, but you have the heart to do great work. I want to congratulate all of you and also express my gratitude to all of the families and all of the relatives and friends who have been part of your world and who have given you their support. Congratulations and thank you. And I'd like to now call on Provost Stephen Haley, who will introduce the stage party.
Before announcing the stage party, we will have Jimmy Hahn, accompanied by the brass ensemble, singing the national anthem. And please stand for that and remain standing for the invocation by Sister Betty Hill.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wriggling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Almighty Creator, we thank you for this graduation day celebration at the University of Bridgeport. We joyfully acknowledge the success and efforts of the graduates and recognize how we have loved each student as they manage their school life and other daily achievements to the success of their graduation. We praise you and thank you for the excitement that we share at this gathering. During this holiday season, many families and friends will join together in joyful celebrations. We will appreciate each gathering, yet this singular moment, we are excited by the uniqueness of this moment and the celebration of these men and women who have taken a portion of their time on earth to advance their understanding of the human conditions in a manner that will enable them to be of service to mankind. Creator, we don't know what tomorrow will bring, so we ask for your guidance, that you place your loving arms around to protect us, and may we lead our paths in bountiful and purposeful movements. Acknowledging that we collectively call you by different names and worship you in different ways, we close this prayer with a brief moment of silence that we may lift you up in a moment of thanksgiving in voices that you alone will hear and understand. Amen.
Thank you, Jimmy. Please be seated. Thank you, Jimmy Hahn and Sister Betty Hill. Madam President, it is my high honor to introduce the stage party. Please stand when I call your name. Hold your applause until all the members are introduced. Carmen Rosa, University Registrar. Marcia Pranguber, Director of the School of Naturopathic Medicine. Marian Mansky, Director, Phone School of Dental Hygiene. Lauren Windling, Program Director, Physician Assistant Institute. Cami Lettieri, Clinical Services Administrator, UB Clinics. David Brady, Director, Nutrition Institute. Matthew Funk, Mace Bearer and Associate Professor of Clinical Sciences. Sister Betty Hill, Mount Airy Baptist Church. Jennifer Brett, Director, Acupuncture Institute. Michael Chalfie, Associate Dean, College of Health Sciences and Director, School of Chiropractic. Manuel M., Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Carol Papp, Dean of the College of Health Sciences. Laura Scandera Trombley, President, University of Bridgeport. Arthur Landy, Trustee, University of Bridgeport. Stephen Perle, Commencement Speaker, Grand Marshal, and Professor of Clinical Sciences, School of Chiropractic. Paul Sherman, Associate Director, School of Chiropractic, and I'm Stephen Haley, Provost of the University. Give them a hand.
Thank you, Provost Haley. Today we are honored to have Dr. Stephen Perle as our commencement speaker. I encourage you all to read his full bio in your program. I'd like to share just a little bit with you about Dr. Perle. He completed his Doctor of Chiropractic at Texas Chiropractic College. He also earned a master's degree in human performance and a bachelor's in biology. He was the first chiropractor to be appointed medical director for a major sport national governing body's championships when he served as medical director of the 1991 Mobile USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships. He has served as a consultant on chiropractic practice for more than 20 years with the State of Connecticut Department of Public Health and Division of Health Systems Regulation. His unique background and diverse areas of expertise, coupled with his keen wit, provide for interesting and well-rounded conversations and presentations. In fact, I have the good fortune of often taking walks with Dr. Perle on Wednesday mornings with faculty, staff, and students. He devotes his time and talents as an editorial board member of several peer-reviewed journals. His research interests are metrics of high-quality chiropractic care and human performance effects of manipulation. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Perle.
Thank you, President Trombley, Provost Healy, Deans Im, Sobe, Papp, the directors, my fellow faculty, and graduates and their families. Good afternoon, everyone. First, welcome to my newest professional colleagues, or they will be in a few moments. The end of undergraduate chiropractic and acupuncture training is a big deal. It's a special day for this group sitting here in front of me, and actually for me too. Not because I'm speaking to you, and that is, of course, a great honor, but today we all begin a sabbatical. Now, sabbatical comes from the Hebrew word Shabbat, and it means break from work. For Jews, Shabbat means no ordinary work, because on Shabbat one can study Torah, Bible. And I think all of these neophyte doctors will tell you that the past 4 years of doing nothing more than studying really isn't what anyone would call not working. It's been a lot of work. Sabbaticals are a break in the usual work, a chance to do something different, which allows for growth, and time to recharge the batteries for what one has been doing. For the graduates, this sabbatical is a break from sitting in classes to learn. They likely won't take any postgraduate seminars, any kind of classes, probably at least for the 8 months that I won't teach. They'll be getting started in practice as acupuncturists or doctors of chiropractic. I'll be working hard, just not teaching, revising with some colleagues a standard textbook in chiropractic. We have another similarity. Once they start their sabbaticals, you, the friends and family who I can't see out there, are probably going to be asking for free treatments. Just like they will be asking me for free signed copies of the textbook when it's published. They probably won't read it because, in fact, they already know this stuff. I lectured on it not using the current book. It's a little bit out of date. But they will have it on their bookshelf, and books make doctors look smart. Of course, we, the faculty, know that they are smart. I'm going to let you, the family, know the answer about the free care or the free book. Hell, no. No free care, no free books. That stuff isn't free. It's costing us. Right, guys? Okay, maybe free care for mom and dad, grandparents. Okay, siblings, spouses. This list is growing. Too much free care isn't, though, the path to success. I've taught you so many classes, and I don't want to reiterate what you've heard in class, so let's talk about success. I think everyone should have what I call a success file. It doesn't have to be a physical one. It's those things that one can look back at, and when the going gets tough, and believe me, there are many times going forward where the going will get tough, it gives you a chance to look at some previous accomplishments and motivate yourself and remind you that there was a previous roadblock that you got past. I mean, for example, I keep in mind that I beat Dr. Perle, the radiologist, on the Connecticut Chiropractic Licensing Exam X-ray portion by 1 point. That actually doesn't tell you anything about my prowess in reading X-rays. It tells you about how badly the exam was written. But that's okay. It's in my success file, and I hold up against him all the time. In fact, it scared him away. He's not here today because of it. So today should be featured in your success file. You have just completed a marathon. I know a lot about marathons. I've provided care at the New York City Marathon for many years. The marathon is training that is mentally, physically, socially, and emotionally demanding, and very draining, I should say. And that's why you need a sabbatical from it. Mentally demanding. I mean, think of all the discrete bits of information you have learned. It's really incomprehensible. I know before you started this marathon, you didn't think there was that much to learn. There is. I know you didn't think you'd be able to do it, but you did. You're probably sitting here having most of you finished your board saying, I don't have to remember any of this anymore, but you do. And you do remember it. Your recall will be amazing. It is one of those things that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, something that you've probably never used a day in practice. You'll hear it, I don't know, on Jeopardy or something else, and the answer will come out of your head and you wonder how that happened. It's been physically demanding. Let's do a little bit of math, and this is for the chiropractic students because I know those numbers. And I'm sure it's not that much different for acupuncture. Generally, chiropractic students have been in class for 30 hours a week. Now, most people in higher education would tell you that you need to study for about 3 hours per hour of class time. So let's do the math. That's 120 hours per week. There happen to be only 168 hours in a week. That means there's 48 hours left. I guess 48 hours is a weekend, but that means during the week there's no time for sleeping, eating, commuting, and because I know there's some children present, let's say other activities. That lack of time for other activities means that these 4 years have been socially demanding. I'm positive you wouldn't be here today if not for the people in the room who are sitting behind you. You wouldn't be here if not for your classmates also. It's been rather emotionally demanding. I know, I used to come home and cry because I couldn't feel or do what my teachers were telling us to do. I'm thinking 1 or 2 of my tests might have provoked a tear or two amongst you. I'm not sorry. Do unto others as others have done unto you. So I've already done that, so we're good. I have some other thoughts about success as a healthcare provider and in life. The first is from a book I used to read to my children. It's called The Rainbow Fish by Marcus Pfister. So in this book there is a fish, it's the rainbow fish, and the rainbow fish has very shiny scales. They're just so much more beautiful than the scales that any other fish have. And the fish are all very envious and they admire the rainbow fish. And this one little fish comes up to the rainbow fish and says, could I have just one of your scales? And the rainbow fish is very rude and dismisses the little fish. And so the little fish goes away and tells the other fish, and now the fish do not admire the rainbow fish. And the rainbow fish is a little bit upset by this, and he goes to speak to the wise old octopus, who says to him, give away one little scale. See how you feel for having done that. He ends up giving away all but one of his scales because it feels so good. Altruism feels good. And you are in altruistic careers. You're in careers that serve and help other human beings. And the way it feels to do so is enough that Well, you would treat your family and friends for free. You treat everybody for free, but you do have to make a living. So the fundamental value of professionalism is altruism. I want to tell you about the best day in my professional career. So the best day for me happened here in Connecticut. It was at the high school indoor track and field championships. It was at Cox Cage at Yale. And there was a kid from Texas who came to compete. He was a pole vaulter, and his family did not have the money to come for the national championships. He came into the room where I was treating athletes, and he was unable to flex his hip, bend his hip joint at all. And if you cannot get your knee up about this high, you are not going to pole vault. And I ended up treating him between every single jump. He took a second based on previous misses, and he was offered a full scholarship to college right there. And to me, that was the best day I ever had, and nobody paid me a penny. Altruism feels great. Albert Einstein once said, "I believe in one thing, that only a life lived for others is a life worth living." So in what you give, you receive. Just don't give everything away unless you're independently wealthy. If you're Bill Gates, then you can go have a free practice. If your practice isn't financially successful, for all of you, if your practice is not financially successful, then the second best chiropractor or the second best acupuncturist in your town will be who your patients will go see, because we know who will be best. Pick a goal and keep an eye on the prize. I wanted to be a sports chiropractor. My sport, having been an athletic trainer in high school and college, was football. The problem is, there aren't a lot of high school football programs in Manhattan. So when you pick the goal, don't get married to it. It can be changed. I did. I switched to the sport of athletics. That's track and field, long distance running, and cross country. And then, after I'd been medical director of these big events, I got a divorce, another one. So my first was from football. My second divorce was from full-time practice. I changed my goal, sold my practice, and came to UB when the School of Chiropractic started. Your goals can change. I started practice in what many chiropractors will call the Mercedes 80s. It was the beginning of insurance reimbursement, and so there was a lot more money around. And I have friends that practice then and ask me, how can students graduating today in the current healthcare marketplace, how can they actually make any money? And my answer is a wonderful little book by Spencer Johnson titled, Who Moved My Cheese? The book is a story about change. The metaphor is built around two mice and two humans who every day go to the same place to get cheese. And then one day, the cheese is no longer there. So if you do not change, you can become extinct. The lessons from this book is that change happens. They keep moving the cheese. Anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move. Monitor change. Smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old. Adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy new cheese. Change. Move with the cheese. Enjoy change. Savor the adventure. And enjoy the taste of new cheese. Be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again. They keep moving the cheese. Obviously, the cheese is where you're going to get money. He's looking for the cheese. As a profession and as individuals, we have to be prepared for the cheese to move. In 1983, when I graduated, I was at a cocktail party in New York City. A medical doctor and I were shaking hands. In the course of shaking hands, I told him I was a chiropractor. He dropped my hand, spun around, walked away from me, did not say another word. In 1988, 5 years later, I had a medical doctor who sublet from me in my office. We practiced together, we're still close friends. And 10 years ago, I practiced with 3 internists and a PA here in Connecticut. They sent me on average 5 new patients a day. The cheese moves. When I was a student at TCC, my teachers didn't know any of the research about chiropractic. Not that there was much. Since then, the body of evidence has grown exponentially that shows that the care we provide and that you were taught is clinically effective, is cost effective. We have new evidence from one of our faculty, Anthony Lisi's research, that it reduces dramatically opioid use. Likewise, research about TCM is growing exponentially. The cheese moves. Most of the guidelines for back pain and neck pain produced by medical societies recommend the care we provide. And recently, United Healthcare, the largest healthcare company in the world, has dropped all co-payments for the first 3 visits of a patient with spine-related disorders sees a chiropractor first. They are incentivizing patients to see chiropractors. I don't know where the cheese is moving to. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do know that in the 40 years since I first walked on the campus of Texas Chiropractic College, the START school, the cheese has been moving a lot and getting tastier and tastier for both chiropractors and acupuncturists too. Too often, when opportunity knocks, nobody opens the door. Make sure you open the door. When I sold my practice, I was in charge of healthcare for every track and field and cross-country event in the New York metropolitan area. This gave me a huge marketing advantage. I tried to give this job to a young sports chiropractor in New York City, but he didn't want the opportunity. I was forced to hand it all to the MD who practiced with me. Open the door when opportunity knocks. There may be new cheese there. Opportunity is often seen as luck. I used to say luck got me my last years of practicing in New York before coming to New York to become the medical director of all these events. A friend of mine who worked with Team USA at 2 Olympics said he wanted to reframe about how I talked about luck. He said luck gets one up to bat at the bottom of the 9th inning in the 7th game of the World Series with the team down by 3, 3 men on and 2 outs. Hitting the walk-off World Series winning grand slam is skill. Luck may make you have that opportunity, the knock on the door, but you've got to answer the door, and we know, because we taught you, that you have the skills to hit the grand slam. So if you look at your programs, it doesn't say graduation, it says commencement. Your training as a chiropractor or an acupuncturist really only just started. The doctor who is not ready, willing, and excited to learn more should be retired or dead. Your sabbatical will end. You will need to learn more, keep reading journals, choose carefully postgraduate seminars that advance your knowledge and are based upon the best evidence. Do a little reconnaissance. Recon's important. Ronnie Barnes, who's the athletic trainer for the New York Giants, regularly gets communication from chiropractors saying, I want to be the chiropractor for the Giants, yet they've had long-term relationships with chiropractors. Rarely do you climb the ladder of success by stepping on someone else, so look for open ladders with cheese on the top. Another lesson you've learned in this marathon might be something you didn't think of consciously, but it's persistence. You are the ones who persevered. Don't give up. Roadblocks are just opportunities for creativity and resourcefulness. Einstein also said, it's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with the problems longer. Please get a vitamin N deficiency. I'm going to say that vitamin N deficiency is one you don't want to treat. I think it's one of the most important you can get. It will enrich your life and improve your professional path. What is vitamin N? I'm sure nobody here learned this in physiology. Nobody learned it in biochemistry. It is the vitamin you need to say no. Say yes to volunteering for your profession, for your community, for your social and religious groups. It will benefit you without any expectation of benefit. I could talk for hours about how vitamin N deficiency helped me in ways I could have never predicted. It's how I came to have the luck to become medical director of all those championships. I never would have predicted it. I just said yes. I know it will help you, but I don't know how, and neither will you know how until you look backwards. Bake a humble pie and eat from it often. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote this in his letters in the late 1800s. Shall I tell you of the secret of the true scholar? It is this: every man I meet is my master in some point, and in that I learn of him. I consider myself lucky to have many of the political and research leaders in our profession as friends. Well, most of them won't admit that in public, but they are my friends. But most of these people have done so much more than I have, and it keeps one humble, and it gives something to strive for. You can't soar with the eagles if you hang with the turkeys. So let's recap. Success file, altruism, pick a goal, don't get married to it, remember the cheese moves, open the door when opportunity knocks, you got to keep training, your sabbatical will end, recon, persistence, vitamin N deficiency, and humble pie. And finally, they should get cheers, because that's the end, right? Everyone looks for the end. Everybody waits till the speaker says that. I want to leave you with a thought that the chiropractic students heard from me, 8 a.m., Monday, the first day at the University of Bridgeport School of Chiropractic. Don't believe anything I ever tell you or any of my colleagues ever tell you. You are personally and severally responsible for everything you say and do from this day forward. After your sabbatical, keep finding out for yourself, keep learning, and critically appraising all that you learn. I wish you, my newest colleagues, great success. Oh, hey, by the way, my first name is Stephen, not Doctor. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah Sameach, Happy New Year, and Happy Festivus, but no airing of grievances. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And please, on behalf of the University of Bridgeport, I'd like to give you this certificate of appreciation as today's commencement speaker.
Thank you.
Okay. We now proceed with the conferral of the degrees in course. Candidates for degree conferral, please stand. That means all of you. There we go. Now, upon the recommendation of the faculty to the Board of Trustees and by the authority vested in me by the board's mandamus and the Office of Higher Education of the State of Connecticut, I confer upon all of you the degree appropriate to the program of study that you have completed with all of the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities, in token of which I shall present you with your diploma, and I grant you the right to wear the hood appropriate to your degree. Congratulations.
It's my honor to discuss with you the hooding and oath ceremony. The candidates will now be recognized individually and will approach the stage to be hooded as their name is called by a program representative, after which the professional oaths will be administered. Candidates and oath administrators will recite their oaths together. The oath ceremony marks an important time for those entering the field of healthcare, during which candidates acknowledge their role in the welfare of their patients and communities. At the successful conclusion of a course of study, the university certifies the students by awarding academic degrees. In addition, it is a tradition in many healthcare fields to also administer an oath. The medical oath is one of the oldest binding documents in history. Written in antiquity, its principles are held sacred by healthcare providers of all kinds to this day. That is to treat the sick to the best of one's ability, preserve patient privacy, and to teach the principles of good health care to the next generation of practitioners. Nearly 100% of U.S. medical schools require graduating practitioners to swear such an oath. These oaths serve to both bring cohesiveness to healthcare traditions through the years and to help guide new practitioners learning to navigate the ethical principles of healthcare in the realities of a changing healthcare landscape in a world that has witnessed huge scientific, economical, political, and social changes. You may choose to follow along as the oaths are printed on the program. I now call upon Director Jennifer Brett to present the degree candidates from the Acupuncture Institute. I also call upon Professor Charles Ford, who will announce the names of the graduates.
Will the candidates for the Masters of Science in Acupuncture degree please come forward and be recognized? Madam President, I present the degree candidates from the Acupuncture Institute.
Michael Kolatinsky. Susalani Krabish. Carolina Zagaya.
I will now administer the acupuncturist's oath, or maybe in a couple of minutes. Candidates for the Masters in Acupuncture, please face the audience, raise your right hand, and say the oath along with me. I solemnly promise to practice the profession of acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine, to utilize the methods of diagnosis and treatment as taught by my teachers, and to apply the methods of treatment which, according to my best judgment, I consider beneficial to the health of my patients. I will honor my instructors and all who have developed and preserved the knowledge and art of traditional Chinese medicine. I will strive to further my understanding of health and pass on this knowledge to others. I will conduct my practice with integrity and free from prejudice. I will at all times treat my patients with dignity and keep confidential all things revealed to me as a practitioner of the healing arts. Before this gathering of witnesses, I hereby affirm that I will remain true to this oath.
Congratulations, graduates, and thank you, Dr. Brett. Candidates, please return to your seats. I now call upon Director Michael Chelfie and Associate Director Paul Sherman to present the degree candidates from the School of Chiropractic. I also call upon Associate Director of Clinical Education, Anthony Honorato, who will pronounce the names of the candidates.
Thank you, Dean Papp. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Chiropractic degree please come forward and be recognized? Madam President, I present the degree candidates from the School of Chiropractic.
Dr. Hassan Awan. Dr. Ashley Berg. Dr. Jasmine Bula. Dr. Justin Bo Davis. Dr. Michael Dispenseri. Dr. William Goff. Dr. Alexis Cantor. Dr. David Henry Korbowski. Dr. Ian Wyatt Kaiser. Dr. Kung Joon Kim. Dr. Brandon McLean. Dr. Robert Clarence Nenchek. Dr. Jae-sung Park. Dr. Prescott Edward Perry. Dr. Michael Joseph Sola. Dr. Stephanie Ann Tropea. Dr. Chung Ki Wright. Dr. Christopher Youngbin Wookie. Dr. Vincent Zappola.
I now call upon Associate Professor Emmett Hughes to administer the chiropractic oath.
Candidates for the Doctor of Chiropractic degree, please face the audience, raise your right hand, and repeat the chiropractic oath along with me. I do hereby affirm before God and these assembled witnesses that I will keep this oath and stipulation, to hold in esteem and respect those who taught me the chiropractic healing art, to follow the methods of treatment which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients, to abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous, to stand ready at all times to serve my fellow man without distinction of race, creed, or color. With purity, I will pass my life and practice my art I will at all times consider the patients under my care as of supreme importance. I will not spare myself in rendering them help, which I have been taught to give by my alma mater. I will keep inviolate all things revealed to me as a physician. While I continue to keep this oath unviolated, may it be granted to me to enjoy life and the practice of chiropractic healing art, respected by all people at all times. Congratulations.
Congratulations, graduates. Thank you, Dr. Hughes. Candidates, you may return to your seats.
I'm very proud of all of you, and I give you my heartfelt congratulations. And I think we all know that this has been a long journey for you, and I hope that you have enjoyed and have appreciated every step of that journey. And you are now about to embark upon the next straight, the next curve, the next hill, the next valley of your life, and you are expertly well prepared to do just that. I know that support systems are everything, and I know that many of you have just that here with you today with your family and friends, mothers and fathers and grandparents, and perhaps now this is the time for all of you to stand up, say thank you, and I love you to everyone who's here. Go ahead, enjoy yourselves. Come on up. And also, since education takes at least two people, your educational preparation and performance is also a response to the efforts of our highly dedicated faculty. And I now ask all of you to join with me in thanking your faculty. All guests are invited to join us after the ceremony for a reception in the art gallery. And to conclude the ceremony, Jimmy Charlotte Henn will sing the UB Alma Mater, accompanied by the brass ensemble. If you'd like to join in and sing, the words are printed in the program, and I ask all of you now to please rise for the Alma Mater and to remain standing for the recessional. Thank you.